Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you Game 1 in a series between Hasu versus NIghtend. Game 1 taking place here on Daybreak. And one thing I realized after watching some Protoss versus Protoss mirror matches is that I really don't know much about the intricacies between Protoss versus Protoss and how subtle the differences are in their build orders. So I am going to be casting another Protoss versus Protoss here. Excuse me. As Game 1 is getting underway, NIghtend spawning as the red Protoss player on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Hasu spawning as the blue Protoss player on the top right-hand side of the map. Both players opening up with 9 pylons relatively close to their nexus so that the probe can go back to mining more minerals. Now, in a game where mirror matches have players going for very similar build orders, timing and every mineral really counts. 5 minerals can lead into 1 to 5 seconds in difference between a gateway warping in, and then that can also translate into Cybernetics core and other buildings, as well as you see Hasu taking a little bit of a lead in terms of his gateway, but slowing down in terms of his overall probe production. That's more of a stylistic choice, as both of the players are scouting at the 13 mark. This is pretty much a very standard build time. If Hasu comes in on the other side of the base, he will be able to see if his opponent has gone for any sort of crazy proxy play. Now, as opposed to trying to scout your entire mini-map to figure out if a proxy play has been put down, you can simply walk a probe into your opponent's base as long as you do it early enough. Even if, say, NIghtend or Hasu was to scout out proxy play, there isn't much that they could really do to stop the other player. And the 13 timing seems to be the absolute perfect here, as we are going to be going into... I could have sworn that there was a probe down here somewhere. Yes, there it is. Very difficult to find a yellow probe a blue probe in the midst of all of that. Meanwhile, a red probe now wandering in from NIghtend, dancing around. Build orders are pretty much nearly identical, as a second assimilator now taken up by NIghtend. NIghtend may be trying to go for perhaps blink stalkers, where you do need a little bit more gas to really power this, both for the research and for the additional stalkers. Meanwhile, let's see what exactly Hasu is going for. He only has 1 gateway right now. He does have a second assimilator coming down, and both of these players will be pretty much sticking to their 1 base strategies. Hasu now getting in that warp gate tech. Meanwhile, NIghtend getting in a little bit delayed there. And so far, we'll see what's going to happen next. The Stalker of Hasu is going to come out and attempt to shoo away that probe before any more buildings are constructed. Hasu should not be able to catch up to that probe. They both have similar movement speeds. No, the Stalker will be able to catch back up. It does have, I believe, a 0.14 faster movement speed. And there is the... Oh, wow. Shields regenerating for 1 more final hit. Is the probe going to get the kill? Is the probe going to get the kill? Yes, it is. So I guess a kill steal by a probe, as a Stalker will now be holding this Xel'Naga tower here. Twilight Council coming in from NIghtend, 2 gateways now warping in. Meanwhile, Hasu going into a Void Ray or perhaps a Phoenix strategy. This does come as a bit of a surprise. There's no real easy way to charge up off of destructible rocks except for this set here. So unless he can move the engagement to this set of rocks and then try to press up here, I don't know if the Void Rays will be that effective. Phoenixes could be the other option, as we now see 2 additional gateways come in. It is going to be a 3-gate plus a Stargate. 2 Stalkers now sitting down here on the low ground. Now NIghtend with Blink should be able to blink underneath that Void Ray and focus it down rather quickly, as the Stalkers are now coming in for an engagement here. 2 Stalkers to 2, now 3 to 2. And this is that constant tug-of-war battle that is so very common. 3 Stalkers now trying to chase this Stalker off over here. It looks like it will be able to sneak away in time. It is simply just walking all the way home. And NIghtend, or Hasu, doing a good job splitting up his Stalkers. 1 taking the high road, 1 taking the low road, to make sure to not trip up on each other. They both arrive at a relatively the same time, as the Stalkers are now retreating back up onto the high ground. Now, what is Hasu doing? Hasu now looking to put in a proxy pylon somewhere, but NIghtend may actually scout out this probe. The probes do pass each other in the night, or I guess if there could possibly be night on a space station like this. Stalkers now coming over. Are they going to finish off that probe? One more shot should do it. No, Stalkers are now going to come ahead and engage. Not a good engagement at all. Hasu microing his units, pulling back the lower hit point unit, as now Phoenixes are going to come over, and 2 Phoenixes arrive, and this could be the turn of the battle here. NIghtend going to go ahead and Graviton beam up 2 of those Stalkers. 2 Stalkers will get taken down. 3 Stalkers will get taken down, as the Stalkers now blinking their way forward. Stalkers are engaging. Are we going to perhaps see another Graviton beam? Another blink could be coming in, and yes, focus down another Stalker. Hasu has lost more, as we now see Zealots are warping in as well. Proxy pylons coming back in. We are now on the defensive. Let's take a look at the losses. Sorry, NIghtend has lost more. Hasu sitting at 47 over 40. Meanwhile, a force field preventing Zealots from getting up onto the high ground. All right, 2 pylons here. Hasu will be able to warp up straight up inside the main base with sight up onto the high ground. And is Hasu going to be doing exactly that? The Stalkers and Phoenixes with a little bit of a defensive advantage, as 1 Zealot now going to be making its way in. Is 1 Zealot going to be the difference between victory and defeat? And will NIghtend be actually able to blink up onto that high ground? So far, he does not see the force field sitting there, and now 1 Zealot coming into battle, trying to focus down some units. Hasn't gotten off a kill at all. Wow, no workers killed by that 1 Zealot, as 2 more Zealots now look to come in. How much damage can they do? The Zealots are simply just running straight in, and Hasu, very, very poor play coming in from Hasu. Will he be able to perhaps defend a little bit better, as we now see Graviton Beam shutting down 4 of these Stalkers? The Phoenix is now trying to pick them up. More Phoenixes are dealing damage as well. You can see NIghtend losing a lot of the units. And now NIghtend, after he reinforced at his own home, will he actually be able to escape away once more? So far, 6 Stalkers back over here. Stalkers now going to be shutting down this proxy pylon here. A new wave of Stalkers now coming in from NIghtend. And NIghtend may be able to destroy, yes, 1 if not 2 Phoenixes. The Phoenix now trying to escape again, as the Stalkers, and now an Observer up on the high ground. 1 Stalker, as it warps in, almost loses more than half its life, as we are now seeing another engagement. Stalkers deciding to blink back. Hasu sitting at 51 over 66. Harvester count 29 for Hasu. NIghtend sitting at 58, so Hasu pretty much near maximum, as more Phoenixes still being added. A new proxy pylon adding in over here. Zealots, Stalkers able to blink forward. No Guardian Shield. The Stalkers of NIghtend catching Hasu asleep at the wheel, and that may be all it takes. 12 Stalkers finishing off the last couple here, and I believe Hasu will have to give the GG. Simply not enough units. The Phoenix is not going to be powerful enough, and there is the GG. Game 1 going to NIghtend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this Protoss versus Protoss mirror match.